Well, the world has still gone nutty, buddy, even downright cruddy, buddy. Wish I missed the past, buddy, but there's still Buddycast. No, don't be naughty, go meet a buddy here on Buddycast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and host of Buddycast, Nick Sorensen.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of everybody's favorite show, Buddycast. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. Thanks for joining us this evening. We have with us a special buddy of mine, my buddy, Moj Mckay. How you doing, Moj?
Good. Nick, thank you for having me on Buddycast.
Absolutely. Hey, we had AC on. Now we have to have the other half of the show on, you know?
Right on. On.
Yep. So, Mojo, for those buddies out there who don't know you, because we have buddies from all over the place, from different countries, different states, different cities, you name it. You are a radio host. You're an on-air personality. What sparked your interest in radio?
I always had an interest in it in growing up, and then I went to college at Edinburgh, and I got involved with their college radio program, WFSC.
Ooh.
And I really liked it. I was doing the morning show there, and had a lot of fun. College radio was fun.
Nice. And from there, you take us down from that road to how you eventually ended up with Rocket 105.
Well, I was still living in Edinburgh and still at WFSC, and I lived in College Park, which is a good haul from Compton Hall, where the radio station is. And this is just right place, right time. I was in the shower, and I had the radio on, and it was then K104, which is now Star 104. And they were announcing on the air that they were looking for somebody to do the midnight till 6 a.m. show on the weekends and to apply. So I literally got out of the shower, got dressed, sprinted up to Compton Hall, made a quick air check tape on a cassette. That's how long ago this was. And I mailed it out. And initially, I didn't get the job. But the guy who did get the job had a change of heart. So Jim Griffey called me up 2 days later and asked me if I was still interested. And that was my first professional gig, weekend overnights at K104.
Wow.
And then from there, I was working for Jet FM 102, doing their overnight show full time. Then I was doing the morning show on Country 98, which is now Nash. And in 1991, because Rick Rimbaldo was giving me overtures of wanting me to, join Rocket. And I was a little hesitant because, I had a solid job at Country 98, but then one day I just decided, why am I not taking advantage of that? So I called them up, got the job in July of 1991, and I've been there since.
Nice. So it really sounds like you worked your way up. Like you took like the first shift you can get your hands on and then built your way up to where you are today. I like that. I like stories like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the early years too, when I was working overnights at K104, I was still living in Edinburgh, and I didn't have a car. So I would either walk up to I-79 or I'd find somebody to give me a ride up to I-79. I had a cardboard sign. One side said Edinburgh, the other side said Erie, and I would literally hitchhike to work.
You must have met some interesting people.
Yes, I hitchhiked to work, and then when I got off in the morning, I'd come down the hill, because it used to be on 26th Street by I-79. I'd walk down the hill, and I'd turn the sign around to Edinburgh and catch a ride home.
Wow.
That's how I did it.
Wow. So you, like I've mentioned before, we have a mutual buddy, our buddy AC. How long have you been working with him, and what does it mean to be working with AC, being Mojo and AC in the morning?
We've been working. AC's been on the show since, like 2000, I want to say, or maybe not that long. No, it was like 2001 or two. Yeah, he's been with me for a while. He's great to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Smart guy, funny guy. Yeah,
Nice.
we get along great.
Nice. What are some of your favorite like morning things to do? Like what do with him? Like what ideas do you bounce off each other, or like content you play around with each other?
We do some of the things we do with content. We do our most popular feature is Fight Club that we do on Wednesday mornings, and it's basically a battle. The bands will pit two songs against each other, and listeners can text in and vote for the one they like the best.
Ooh.
We figure out via votes who won, and they get a victory lap, and sometimes we mix prizes in. We do a lot of giveaways, and we do a lot of topics. For example, tomorrow with Father's Day on the horizon here, our chime time topic tomorrow is what is the best advice or skill your father taught you?
Ooh.
Text in and tell us that, and we have a pretty good relationship. We also have we do interviews with celebrities when we can get them. We have the comedians from Keller's come on, and they're magicians.
Mm-hmm.
We've been dealing with that since Juniors was around. So I've had a chance to meet some interesting people that way.
Nice. So you still have the comedy club connections. It's not something that went away after the change or anything.
No, we're still with them. In fact, we're their main gig.
Nice. You have had some good guests. I remember waking up in the mornings because I would hear, like back when it was Juniors, I would hear some of my favorite comedians were coming on, like Brad Williams, for example. I'd wake up early in the morning just to get to him and then go back to sleep because my next class wasn't until 9 o'clock. So
yeah, we've had the late great David Brenner on several times. We've had a lot of big names comedy wise, and right now I'm trying to jog my memory because I've been
that's my next question, by the way. Who are some notable people that you've interviewed on here? Or
I interviewed. Did I have Howie Mandel on? We've interviewed members of Kiss on the phone. Numerous celebrities. Just all walks of celebrity life. We've had a lot of bands on.
Mm-hmm.
We've had bands in studio. We've interviewed some pretty interesting people over the years.
Nice. Now you asked me this off air. I'm going to ask you on air if you're allowed to talk about this. How do you find those people? How do you find those opportunities?
Well, I mean, with the comedy club, they supply the guests.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some interesting and funny comedians on the show over the years. We've had Tom Wilson, who was Biff on Back to the Future. We've had a lot of, I can't even remember the names right now, but and I also have a show prep service with that sends out information that this so-and-so person will be available. So I just email them back and say I'm interested, and usually I have no problem getting them. A lot of times we pre-record them because most of them are on the West Coast, so we'll pre-record a lot of the interviews and then play it back the following day.
Nice. That is smart because you're right. West Coast time, 7 a.m. our time is still 4 a.m. their time or so.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of interesting people on. The one interview that still sticks with me, and I kick myself for it all the time. I forget how many years ago this happened, maybe 5 or 6. We landed an interview with Brooke Shields.
Ooh.
And we pre-recorded it, obviously, because it was on the West Coast, and it was such a terrific interview. Mm-hmm. And somehow, some way, and this has never happened to me before, I accidentally deleted it. So it never hit the air.
Wow.
Yeah. I was pretty pissed.
Oh.
But we made light of it on the air, and I recruited a listener, a female, to come in. I was going to toss her tickets to play the part of Brooke Shields, and we were going to reenact the interview, and that's what we did in studio. But wow. that still sticks with me because it was a great interview. She's an iconic celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the content, when it comes to what you play over the air, you mentioned, your favorite like games to play. What about your favorite music to play? Who are some of your favorite songs? Some of your favorite bands?
I've been living on Led Zeppelin for decades now. I love the Stones. I love a lot of the, Pearl Jam would be a band I like, and there's a lot of newer Imagine Dragons, and a lot of newer music coming out right now, which is nice. And iHeart programs the music, so they have a pretty even collection of classic rock and new rock. And we do a lot of when like a band like the Foo Fighters is coming out with a new single, we'll do a world premiere on the air. I always wanted to talk to those guys, but I've never had the chance. But I'm trying to think of some of the famous bands I've had in. I've had, like I said, I've had Kiss in, and we've had I had John Cena in studio before he was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was down for the pro wrestling, and we had him in the studio. And he was becoming a hot ticket for the WWE. And now he's a huge actor. He's a big time. But yeah, we had him in the studio. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you. This just popped in my head. Another mutual buddy we might have. Did you talk to Greg Morton recently when he came to Keller's?
Yep, he was in studio with us.
Yep.
Greg's been a guest on our show, I want to say anywhere between 12 and 15 times over the years.
Great guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, and he's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny.
Please tell me he did impressions over the air for you.
Oh, yeah, of course he did.
Good. Phew.
That guy just doesn't do impressions. All manner of just wacky noises come out of him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like you just hit a play button and all of a sudden the next, like, your television starts going off,
Right. Yeah, he was just in studio a few weeks ago. He's terrific. He's like I said, we love having him on.
Yeah. You also had Heitner on, didn't you? Steve Heitner from Seinfeld?
Yeah, he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on our show 3 times.
Nice. I'm trying to think of who else. Like, I'm just been people. Oh, yeah, my buddy Tammy Pescatelli.
Yeah, Tammy's coming back this summer, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
At some point.
Ooh, tell her buddy Nick says hi.
I will. Yeah, I think she's going to be here. I want to say July, but I'm not certain about it. But I know she's coming back.
I know she's coming back in December at the Comedy Club.
Oh, is that what it is? December?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But I know she's on their schedule.
Yep. She is fantastic. What I love about Tammy, she is the total, like, on stage, could rip you a new one, could destroy you if you even tried to interrupt her show, like that kind of person, like she's not taking anything from anybody. Off stage, total sweetheart, total, how you doing? How's my buddy doing today?
Another one of my favorite guests that we've had on, I want to say 3 times, the great Michael Winslow, speaking of impressions and noises. That guy, I don't know how, he's unbelievable.
Yes.
If folks don't know, he was in all the Police Academy movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Nice. He was going to be on. I just haven't talked to his contact in a while. So need to refresh that. But what else? The other thing you do as a radio host, you do what's called live remotes, where you go to a business location and you will set up. You'll do your recordings. Like, hey, this is Mojo from Rocket 105. I am at such and such place. Like, I am at this restaurant or whatever. We do a lot of that. I mean, it stopped for a period of time during the pandemic, mm-hmm. and we're slowly doing full remotes again. But the one thing we do now, which is cost effective, we do Facebook Lives at a business or an event. We do quite a bit of those. Nice. And I like that too, because that's keeping up with the times too. Yeah,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So where are some of your favorite places that you've done live remotes at? Like where?
Oh God. I mean, I should have prepared for this. Well, we've done a lot of car dealers. We've done a lot of remotes, just various businesses. I remember this was back when Natalie was still on the show with me. This is back in the, early to mid 90s, back when we had our old Rocket 105 live vehicle, mm-hmm. which had an antenna on it, and you could take it anywhere and broadcast live.
Wow.
We spent the entire summer, at least 3 to 4 days a week, broadcasting from listeners' homes. We would do our show right on location, like in their kitchen or their backyard. Yeah, we did that for a whole summer. That was fun.
That would definitely be something to add on the personal resume, you know?
Yeah.
I was at my house today. How was your day? You know?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's I've had a lot of fun times there, you know, and it's funny because there are listeners that listen to Rocket in the morning show that weren't even born yet when I started, which sometimes when I soak that in, it's like, wow.
So when it comes to your career with Rocket, what are some of your hopes and dreams?
Well, to keep working, keep doing the show. You know, this is all I know how to do. I've been doing radio my entire adult life, so this is it. So I have no plans on retiring. So I just want to keep the show going, get good ratings, have fun. You know, I'm fortunate enough to have a job where we can have fun in the morning, and it's not as grueling as a lot of our listeners that are doing hardcore, you know, blue collar jobs. But we have a lot of listeners and a lot of loyal listeners that have been with us for years.
And where can those listeners find you? Where can the new listeners find you?
The best way to find us, if they don't, our 104.9 is if our signal, but the best way to listen to us anywhere you want to go is just download the free iHeartRadio app to your device and stream rocket105.com. And then you can listen to Rocket anytime you want.
There you go, rocket105.com.
That's right.
Perfect. Now, buddy, I've got 2 more questions for you to make this an official Buddycast.
Okay.
The first one is brought to us by my buddy Jonas Kane at #Positivity. He wants to know, in your own words, what does it mean to be someone's buddy?
Well, I think first of all, to be a buddy, you've got to be loyal. You've got to, you know, stick by each other. You've got to, you know, have activities together. You got to keep the friendship going and have respect for each other, and hopefully you have some good times along the way.
Most certainly. I like the loyalty part. That's the big part.
Yes, it is.
The final question I have for you today is what we call the ultimate Buddycast buddy question. You ready for this one?
Sure.
For anybody out there who dreams of a career in radio one day, or just on an on-air job, what is your advice to them?
Well, I mean, the climate has changed in radio dramatically over the last 10 years. But, you know, there's a lot of kids that, you know, enjoy the college programs. Gannon's got a great program.
Yes, they do.
Edinburgh's got a great program. I believe Mercyhurst does as well. You know, as I say, cut your chops there and, you know, do what I did. Take whatever paying gig you can get and just work your way up, you know?
Exactly. Get your foot in the door. Get
Yeah.
your foot in the door and the rest
Bottom
of it.
line, get your foot in the door and see what goes on.
Well, buddy, thank you for being
Sure.
a buddy here on Buddycast.
All right. Well, thank you for walking me through how to get the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry,
But before
I'm challenged with some of this.
And it's not the worst. I've had to call people on the phone and go, okay, you see this screen? Yep. Now hit this button. Now go here. Now go here. There you are. Hey. You know?
Well, Nick, it was great to talk to you, and it was great to be on Buddycast. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah. Hey, stick around. We'll chat for a minute afterwards.
Okay, sure.
But for all my buddies out there, this is my buddy, Moj Mckay. Please listen to Rocket 105. It's a really great station. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. And Mojo, before we close out this episode, I have one more favor to ask you. Whatever you do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, even next year, please promise me you're going to go out and go be someone's buddy.
I will do that for you, Nick.
All right. And say hi to all my buddies here at the station.
Hey, hi, all the buddies here on Buddycast. Thanks for checking this out today. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Welcome. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. We'll catch you all next time on everybody's favorite show, Buddycast.
Well, the days are going fast, buddy, we've got to make them last, buddy, before they've all gone past, buddy, tune in to Buddycast.